I am going to freeze my ass off because I severely underestimated the temperature out here. Or actually, I overestimated the temperature. So what we're talking about today, while I take this quick roll ride, is the Exo Optima, because we're at almost 3,000 miles and 150 days of use. So I think that's enough, you know, actual real-world experience to make a fair assessment of it as a product. You know, in the sense that the average rider, that's a year or two, or three even of use, and at a $200 jacket, that's a pretty fair judgment, right? You know, you're not looking at it as a lifetime investment. This is a $200 jacket. It's waterproof on the outer layer, windproof on the outer layer, comes with a thermal liner that you can remove easily, has some venting. It's not a hugely vented adventure jacket where you can really adapt it to summer weather. It is reasonably comfy off the bike, but really on the bike, at least on my bike, very comfy. I never noticed the jacket. It doesn't bunch up. What is this guy doing? It doesn't bunch up. The tension in the arms that you feel when you're like putting on your helmet, you don't ever feel while you're riding. It's just not a thing. I think it looks decent. I have the red and gray one, but I think that most of the color options, for what they are, look decent. Ooh, we're gonna turn. Honestly, I couldn't be happier. I expected to not be super thrilled with it. The reviews were kind of mixed, and I think the reviews don't do it justice. This is one of the few times I've ever been happier with a budget product than expected. Yeah, usually you buy the budget product and you're like, okay, good enough. You know, it does the job. I don't feel bad. Like I got my money's worth, right? But it usually doesn't seem like it's going to hold up as well. It's not fulfilling the needs as well as it could. This time, I think what you're losing is some style. You're losing elegance. It doesn't have that. Come on. Doesn't have that European flair that maybe a REV'IT jacket or Dainese or AlpineStars would. And that's okay. It's cut very American. We're not as thin and lean and, trim as the average European. And let's face it, there's a lot of us. But it's not cut for somebody who's fat. It's just not cut for somebody who is rail thin. So there's no real issue for like somebody like me wearing it. I don't feel like it's tight across my gut or anything like that. I feel like it's a good fit. I feel like the arms are appropriately sized. I haven't had any issues with the tensioning on the arms. I haven't had any issues with the pockets. Somebody made a jacket for $200 that does everything the average rider needs. If you don't live in a super hot climate, because you're probably not riding a motorcycle if it's colder than that jacket is capable of dealing with, or you're going to need some really, you absolutely need that heated jacket. So I guess the short version is, I recommend it quite a lot. I think that it is a really good jacket as a general utility jacket. When you're not looking for fashion, you're not looking for your summer jacket unless you live somewhere fairly cool. If you're up north and you don't usually get to ride in 90 to 100 degree temperatures, I think it's a perfectly good jacket. Because I think the outer layer on its own, with the vents open, is still mid 70s. Anything over that, you better be wearing a really light t-shirt and not stop. You know, not be sitting in traffic. So if you're riding around town, you're going to get hot fast, particularly on a Harley. My bike doesn't heat up a whole lot, and it still got warm when I did it. Just keep that in mind. It isn't a all-weather jacket. It's a mid-weather jacket, mid-temperature. In that mid-range, I think it absolutely excels. And, I mean, I'm not saying it can't be beat. I haven't tried a bunch of the alternatives. But I think that beating it in that price point, or even close, is going to come down to just one of the other jackets fitting you better. And that's always the case, right? That to some extent, the best is going to depend on you, your body, your use case. But for me, I'm combining it with a mesh jacket and then just a hoodie. I'm wearing a hoodie right now. It is too cold for this hoodie. I should have worn the other jacket. I should have worn the Optima over it. I would have been much comfier. But I knew I was going to spend 90% of my time, 95% of my time. Come on, come on. It's the new C300 and is ugly as sin. But 150 days. Almost every single day. 3,000 miles on that jacket, roughly. And I would buy it again. I mean, that's honestly, let's be realistic. That's what it comes down to. 3,000 miles, 150 days of regular use, not 150 ownership days. That's, call it 125 days of actual wear. And I would buy it again in a heartbeat. If somebody said, hey, your jackets all got stolen, all your riding gear is missing, you got to buy another one, or I got in a wreck, God forbid, and I needed new gear, unless we're talking it's the middle of the summer. Right? If it's right now, maybe I don't rebuy that one today. I buy the a summer weight jacket. But later this year, I'm going to buy either the Exo Optima or whatever replaces it, whatever the new version is, if there's a new version this year. Because it covers my bases. It covers all those things. Now, does the style side of me go, hey, a nice leather jacket with some perforations would be awesome. You can put a windproof layer on underneath it if you need to. Sure. At $400, $500, $600, $700, and not rainproof, really. I mean, they dry out, and most of them can survive it. But that's different from I'm using it every day on my way to work. I need to ride to work, whether it's raining, snowing, hailing, sleeting, and then ride home at the end of the day. I can't have a jacket that is like, maybe, maybe not, and is going to freeze my butt off when it's soaked. So, anyway. Take care, have fun, stay safe, keep the rubber side down, and enjoy the ride, guys.